Imagine getting your ass kicked at the Super Bowl, then coming back to your house to cry yourself to sleep, only to find your bed is stolen and half your house was raided. That's what happened to one NFL player in this video. And after I did some research, I found stories much, much worse. Here are the NFL superstars that got robbed. Being an NFL superstar has its perks. The cars, the women, the lifestyle. But little do people know that there is a dark secret. You see, because your life is public, potential thieves know exactly when to strike your home when you're not around. Unfortunately for NFL star Rob Gronkowski, he found this out the hard way. While Gronkowski and the Patriots were getting exposed by the Eagles in the 2018 Super Bowl, some people had more devious plans in mind. You see, Gronkowski wasn't the only thing being run through that day. His house was being raided. Fox Police Chief William Baker felt his pain. He went on to say, "I don't know if you've ever been to the side of a break-in, but when you're robbed and there's an intrusion into your personal space, it's unpleasant. Whether you're Rob Gronkowski or Bill Baker, for him, it's a double whammy coming off the loss." Although the police were not keen on sharing exactly what was stolen, leaked reports revealed that among the items raided from the home were at least 3 handguns, a watch, a bracelet, and his bed, for crying on. Okay, maybe not the last one.
Hello, this is an emergency. This is Rob Gronkowski calling, and while I was gone, my whole house got robbed while on the Super Bowl trip, and I just got back.
But the biggest mystery is how these burglars pulled off this crime. The burglars had gotten into Rob's house around 8 p.m. on Super Bowl night. They snuck past the front gate and entered through a window. The police later identified the 3 burglars as Shane Den, Eric Tyrell, and Almeida. The person who snitched was Eric Tyrell himself. Tyrell turned himself in days after the robbery, leading to Almeida's crib being searched and him getting arrested just shortly after. Den, however, thought he was in GTA 5 and went on to run for months. But the way he got caught, he should be ashamed of himself. Den was picked up by the police in Maine for driving without a license, providing a false name, and most notably, being a wanted fugitive. You would think after robbing an NFL player's house and not getting caught that you would lay low for a while and count your blessings. But I guess Den was feeling unstoppable. During those few months, Den went on a crime spree, robbing gas stations, stealing a truck, and then running that truck into a business. Bro was a menace. While the judge was determining his bail, Den decided to show up to court wearing a Patriots jersey. Man, this guy really doesn't give a fuck. I know Gronkowski would have been pissed. The judge wasn't too pleased either, giving him a bail of $100,000. But this story doesn't compare to how the next robbery nearly led to an NFL player losing his life. Ray Armstrong and Reuben Foster are teammates and best friends. But one bad moment led to them nearly losing it all. In October of 2017, after flying back from a team trip in Washington, the two decided to hit the local San Francisco nightclubs. At around 2 a.m., Sherlock Foster noticed a white Audi with tinted windows that kept circling the building. Because of this, Armstrong and Foster decided to leave the club and try to stay safe. Foster, getting a hint of what was happening, gave his ring and watch to a female friend before leaving the club. And Armstrong got a security guard to escort them to their car. This is when shit hit the fan. 2 masked men approached them on the side of the road holding an assault rifle and a handgun. Armstrong, Foster, and the security were having none of that, and they immediately bolted and escaped to a local hotel where they called police. The robbers weren't prepared to chase the NFL players, so after they ran, they decided to leave the scene and have not been identified since. Following the interview, Foster spoke to reporters saying, "I'm blessed to be safe. I don't want to get into no detail. I'm just happy that me and Ray and the rest of the people are safe. It was a scary moment for my family and for the organization. I'm truly sorry to whomever was concerned and the organization itself and the fans that I concerned them. You live and you learn. Just watch your surroundings." Phew, that was a close call. If it wasn't for Foster turning into prime Sherlock Holmes, we may have had a different outcome. Unfortunately, the next player wasn't so lucky. Tom Brady was the victim of a cruel robbery that took place right in his locker room after a Super Bowl victory. Man, some of these criminals are straight hating. After the 2015 Super Bowl, Tom Brady was high on life. He gave his Patriots jersey to an official to take back to his locker room. What he didn't realize then was that this was the last time he would see his jersey in a long time. When the stadium had started to empty out, Brady went to his locker room only to find this jersey was gone.
In my bag. I absolutely 100% put it in my bag.
But security and staff were tasked with one mission: retrieve the jersey at all costs. but they found nothing.
Tom, did you find your jersey?
One brilliant person had the idea that the jersey must have been put for sale online. It must have been Foster. Brady later went on to speak about the incident, saying, "It's unfortunate because that's a nice piece of memorabilia. If it shows up on eBay or something, someone let me know. I'll try to track that down. Those are pretty special ones to keep, but what can you do? I'll take the ring. That's good enough for me." Damn, Brady. It's not like he got another 6 Super Bowl championship jerseys. Life ain't fair, man. But what isn't fair is how the thief got caught. You see, it was later reported that a Mexican journalist who had gotten a press pass snuck his way through all the chaos into the team's locker room, where he stole the jersey. It was daylight robbery. A 1,000-mile investigation ensued in search for the man that was identified as Martin Mauricio Ortega. This was all thanks to Dylan Wagner. Dylan Wagner was a Boston-born Patriots fan, so much so, he had even become a collector of specialty football items. Before the shocking heist had transpired, Wagner had sold a game-worn Deion Branch jersey on eBay. Wagner was interested in seeing the buyer's stacked collection of limited edition NFL gear, so he had to request pics. The buyer happily flexed his many jerseys and sent over 27 photos of Wagner. Little did the doofus know he had made the biggest mistake of his life. Wagner noticed there was one jersey that was placed front and center amongst the others, and that was a game-worn Brady jersey from that night. When Wagner asked how he got it, the buyer responded with, "I'll tell you later," and the two would never message again. The jersey had not been reported yet, so the only thing Wagner had done was send it over to his friends, one of which worked at the ATF. When the news broke out that Brady's jersey had been stolen, Wagner's friend sent him a contact who worked with the FBI. The agent was able to get enough information from Wagner to connect the photos and IP address to Ortega. After tipping off Mexican officials, police were sent out to Ortega's home in Mexico City, where the jersey was found alongside a Denver Broncos helmet which belonged to Von Miller from Super Bowl 50, and a Brady Super Bowl 49 jersey that had come about in the raid. After his jerseys were returned, Brady released a statement. "I'm happy my jerseys from Super Bowl 49 and 51 have been recovered, and I want to thank all the law enforcement agencies involved. I know they worked hard on this case, and it's very much appreciated. Hopefully when I get the jerseys back, I can make something very positive come from this experience." Had it not been for Wagner's tip, the raid would have likely never happened. Wagner was praised by Patriots owner Robert Kraft, who gifted Wagner a signed Brady football, signed Brady jersey, a pair of Kraft's Air Force Ones, and a pair of tickets to the next season NFL opener. The jersey Wagner had helped find was later appraised at $500,000. Man, Wagner is out here getting custom jerseys from the GOAT, while I'm here making YouTube videos. This ain't it, bro. Cheer me up by hitting that like button. While this Brady-Wagner episode ended well, this next player, Antonio Brown, doesn't get a happy ending. Here's what happened. Antonio Brown is always in headlines for one reason or another. And one thing about Brown is he loves to flex. But this time, showing off his expensive taste led to him getting bit in the ass. After coming back from vacation, Brown found out that $80,000 had been stolen from him in a bag along with a firearm. Brown had been crying in his apartment by himself after splitting up with his girl 2 weeks prior, so he knew he had to take a trip to get his mind off his girl. Police launched an investigation into what took place in Brown's apartment, and when I found out what happened, I was shocked. There was surveillance of a cleaning crew entering Brown's apartment on the 13th of April. However, when questioned by the police, they denied taking anything and dropped a tip that it could have been someone else who entered the house during the 11 days he was out. You see, Brown had placed the cash in a bag a day before leaving for his vacation. By the time he returned, his apartment was clean. The laundry was done, but his money and gun were gone. Using this mysterious tip, the police were able to discover that an AC repairman had also come in along with another woman who picked up a table. From there, police had the apartment checked for forensics. However, no reports had come from their findings. Brown was pissed. The next day, he threw a tantrum inside of his $35,000 a month apartment that resulted in him throwing his furniture out of his 14th floor balcony, which narrowly missed a 22-month-old toddler. After discovering who threw the furniture, the parents of the child filed a lawsuit against Antonio Brown, seeking damages for an assault and intentional infliction of emotional distress. The lawsuit also alleges that Brown had acted without regard for human life and states the toddler suffers nightmares from the incident. But hey, between you and me, we both know the parents just wanted a bag. Luckily for Brown, he was not arrested for the furniture fiasco. but his landlord switched up on him and said the complex would evict him for the incident. Brown can't catch a break. If you're thinking the story can't get any worse, you are wrong, because Brown called the police the next day reporting his Rolls Royce was stolen. Then right as the police pulled up to Brown's house, Brown had already just found his car. So he told the police officers, "I found it," and slammed the door in their faces. Lucky for Brown, he wasn't involved in this next incident, because in this story, things get scary. Former Baltimore Ravens running back Terrace West filed a lawsuit against the hotel. He stayed in Miami for allowing 2 women and a man to rob him, not once, but twice in a day. During West's stay late 2016, he had met 2 baddies with a friend at the Metropolitan Hotel. After West was finished spitting some mad game, the group parted ways. Shortly after, those same 2 girls went to the hotel front desk and asked for a set of keys to West's room. And the desk clerk gave the keys to them. She must have been in on this for sure. Coincidentally, the women left the hotel sometime later with 2 Rolexes worth at least $50,000. Terrence West returned to the suite and realized his watches were missing. So he called police and filed a report. Little did Terrence West know, things were about to get insane. You see, after he called the police, West received a knock on his door just a few hours later. Assuming it was the police for a follow-up, he opened it, only to find another burglar. And this burglar wasn't playing around. The anonymous robber told West if he didn't comply, he would shoot him up and his friends. And after seeing the bulge in the robber's waistband, he knew it could either be a gun or something even more sus. And West wasn't about to take any chances. Terrence handed the thief $5,000 in cash and Louis Vuitton shoes. And luckily, he kept his life. But after this, West had one thing on his mind: vengeance. And since he couldn't get back at the thieves, he took it out on the hotel. West blamed the hotel staff for allowing the women in his suite in the first place and tried to negotiate a compensation deal with the hotel. But when the hotel told West to fuck off, he knew the only way to get his bag back was in the court of law. So he sued the hotel and the staff for $53,000 worth of damages. The lawsuit did reach a conclusion after both parties settled before going to trial. However, the details are confidential. His attorney, Saul Goodman, would only comment that his client was happy with the results.
Kiwi. This is how it works. You twist the top and you put them in the shoe and it'll keep it nice and fresh. Let's test it out. Ooh, that's way better. Try them out for yourself.